welcome to our weekly Icarus patch notes updates discussion. Update patch notes, whatever. I'm here with Carlos. I'm gonna switch over to Discord. Hey, my man, how you doing?
Bit warm, but no complaints on my part. And how are you doing?
Not bad, not bad. It's that warm, yes, but hey, at least I'm not freezing.
I prefer freezing, thank you very much. But
Yeah, I don't really care too much either way, but
it is what it is. And beggars can't be choosers. And in this case, I don't have an AC in the house, so pretty much no one to blame other than myself. It might be actually something that I might actually go purchase as one of those just freestanding ones that I can put into my computer room. That way, I have a way to escape. However, I don't want
a
to.
freestanding one, but it needs to get rid of the heat somewhere.
Yeah, you can get the ones that sort of.
So you'll have
Sort
to
of
have an exit hose.
yeah, I have a window, but we'll see.
Hmm. Yeah, Icarus update patch notes. So we are at week 188. We have atmospheric lighting and Firewhacker improvements this week. The atmosphere system, responsible for shadows and lighting, has been overhauled along with the trusty Firewhacker. Two system updates this week, which have accompanying large write-ups. Now, the
Alright.
atmosphere system responsible for lighting, shadows and reflection accuracy has been updated with multiple cube maps for each biome in Icarus. You should see much better color, detail and lighting in-game with this improvement. And hey Josh, welcome. I know it's that late, but hey, we are here. So. And we have also buffed the Firewhacker, making many improvements, increasing the usefulness which had reduced over the years as denser fuel sources crept their way into the game. Uh,
Well, that's a good thing, but definitely, hopefully, they also fixed it
yeah, it's
in regards
supposed to
to
be
the.
more effective against forest fires now, but we've always had the dense foliage already since the start, especially on Icarus and Olympus map. Yeah, it does look
But,
way brighter, says yours. Okay. Yeah, I haven't checked the game yet, so I don't know. But we will see in the gameplay, definitely.
yeah. Well, like I said, changing it is fine, improving it is great, but if we're not able to determine whether or not it's working via audio cues or,
Yeah.
like
Or
we had previously using it,
more
then
importantly,
obviously.
like, you don't see the fire, which
Yeah,
is annoying.
true.
I
No, but
hope
like I
they
said,
fix that.
like I said, there are bugs, and realistically, improving an item in a buggy system isn't going to have a positive, like it might have a positive effect, but fixing the bugs would be better, in my
True,
opinion.
true.
So I hope that they
But
did fix it.
yeah, I am afraid is you can't see the fires is related to the fact that we've been playing on dedicated server. Rem
Regardless of the reasoning of it, it's still a bug. But yeah, let's move on.
uh, Remember I like to use a torch in the morning at 7 a.m. when waking up? Now the sun was high up and very bright when I was playing with my friend Snakey. Ah, okay. So we should definitely see improvement then. Good. And finally, we have got massive news about next week's update, which will be the biggest since New Frontiers and is aptly named Copernicus.
Interesting.
But let's just go through the patch notes. Hype indeed, Josh. I know, right? So, notable improvements. Fixed a long-standing AI issue where creatures would stand still when receiving damage when hit from far away instead of reacting accordingly. I've seen this so many times. You shoot an enemy far away, an animal, and just standing there, not moving. So it was quite easy to like determine the drop off, like the height you had to aim to get the crit shots in. Nice to be able to kill polar bears that way, but not realistic. So this now has been fixed. which means killing animals might become a little bit more dangerous.
Well, if it's changing the way they behave, then I will gladly see what they've done.
Well, have you had this as well, where you were shooting an animal and it was just standing there perfectly still, like, where is this coming from? And you could just pelt him with arrows?
We've seen that pretty much every time we've played the game.
Exactly. So that should now have been fixed. We also have brand new backgrounds for the blueprint tech tree. Okay, we'll have to have a look at that. New in-world effects for the beast scanner. Maybe I should get one again. I've never actually used the thing.
Effects, interesting. Does it just bleep, or would it be like a radar kind of pulse thing? That might
I
be
don't know.
interesting to
A
see, indeed.
couple of weeks ago they did increase the range of the beast scanner, so you don't have to be like on top of the animal in order to scan it.
Sure.
So yeah, maybe I should get me one again.
Good for testing.
And it's gonna tell you like the weak points and stuff, I believe, and maybe even give you a slight damage increase or something. I don't know, it's a long time ago since I actually used the thing.
Yeah, we'll see.
Fix an intermittent boss health bar visibility for some bosses for people playing on dedicated servers. I've definitely seen this. Quite often, when you do the simple quest, uh, we have to kill the crazed animal and it was a black wolf, it had no health bar. Very annoying.
Yes.
I've seen it with, I believe, mainly sandworms, where it had a health bar but was not working, although that seems to have been fixed a little while ago. Uh, yeah, especially the black wolf with like no health bar. And then it comes to you through the undergrowth. You can't see it coming.
Yep.
Very annoying. So that has been fixed as well, or at least according to the patch notes. So that is going to be very nice. So this week, atmosphere improvements. Now this week we have added graphical improvements to lighting, shadows and reflection accuracy. Specifically, we have updated the atmosphere system with bespoke cube maps for each different biome in Icarus. This means that the ambient lighting used to brighten up the game world should be more accurate to the area around it. Rocks, buildings, landscapes and other objects will all take on more of the nearby environment color, meaning fewer dark black shadows and more accurate lighting on all objects. The end result
Sounds
is
good.
similar to NVIDIA's global illumination solutions, with none of the associated costs. And what's more, the updated cube maps will have zero performance impact. Good. Now this did require a rewrite of how cube maps were utilized within the atmosphere controller. Previously, all ambient lighting and skylight reflections in Icarus were calculated using a single 360-degree cube map scene capture. This meant that we needed to have our cube map approximate lighting for all biomes at the same time, resulting in a flat and overly dark end result. The way it did this was for each point in the world, a sample was taken from the reference image, the cube map, and multiplied together with the desired intensity of ambient lighting. Now, this affected both the color and the brightness of the lighting applied. Because we only had one cube map to sample from, it was not applying the green hues you'd expect from the swamp or the yellows of the desert. Metallic surfaces were also giving grey reflections. In general, all ambient lighting was more muted we'd want, and we sought to improve this. Now we have upgraded Icarus' atmosphere system to blend between multiple cube maps as required. This means we can create bespoke ambient lighting and reflections for each of Icarus' vastly different regions as we see fit. And we have a couple of before and after screenshots here. I do have to say the after ones are are like brighter, the colors are
Yeah,
brighter and everything. It does look
it
better.
does look It does look better. Definitely way easier to see on the forest one. The desert one, not a massive difference, but obviously you're in a desert. So, but it's definitely a big difference looking at the underneath, below the wood stack pile. It's definitely a big one. And
Yeah,
in the
and also
Arctic, it,
into the shed, where
yeah, no, I saw
before
that into the building. Yeah,
you can't see the back wall, too dark,
correct.
and
Not
after you can
true.
at least see it now.
I mean, it's definitely more realistic, to say the
Yeah,
least. But then obviously in the Arctic biome, yeah, it's mostly regarding the I would say the weapon itself than the actual backdrops. I mean, obviously you can see in the distance the shading on certain areas, but
no,
it's
but
going to be the Arctic's always been very bright anyway. So,
exactly. So yeah, game's gonna look even better. We like that. Right. This week, Firewhacker buffs. Uh, Fire in Icarus is a fairly unique experience in the world of survival games. Ex- it exists to connect early game dangers and provide an extra way to differentiate storms from one another via lightning. It's a great example of how a small system added to a game can make a world feel deeper and less static. And also, having your base hit by lightning, your wooden base, and have it burn down. Basically a rite of passage for Icarus. If you haven't had it yet, you haven't played Icarus proper yet.
does it count if you get hit by lightning and then run into the building like Echo did, burning down the hut whilst we just watched?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that counts as well. It's initially caused by lightning, so yeah.
Yes.
But also, if you wake up, get out of the bedroll, accidentally step in the campfire, run outside, but setting your base on fire in the process. That also counts.
Well, I think let's see whether or not the new Firewhacker would help with such a
Yeah.
scenario.
Yes, if you haven't got your base burned down, you aren't a true Icarus player. Indeed. Base burning down is the rite of passage.
But my base is made out of concrete and stone and
Yeah,
glass
true,
and
but you always
steel.
start out with a wooden base. And we have
I'm
had
no
this base burned
noob.
down back in the day, so we learned how to deal with it and how to prevent it. So,
Yes.
yeah, we have had bases burned down, definitely. So, continuing the patch notes. Realism is a good word to describe what features players might intuitively expect in a game, but it's often a bad goal for balance.
Hmm.
In real fires, we see an exponential growth as fires spread in all directions and gain access to more and more fuel. In game, we know buildings are placed on a 3 by 3 meter grid with a fixed number of possible neighbors. Deployables are consistently sized, so a base can't be too densely packed with burnable fuel. And with the fire location fairly well scoped, we were able to make some programming choices so that the fire could spread at a more linear rate, so that it wouldn't get out of control too quickly. Still darn quick though. Now Rocketworks has another game called Stationeers, which also features a fire system. Now often fires start when you have hydrogen and oxygen in the mix, and fuel, and you accidentally spark them. A mix like that used to combust extremely quickly, just like here on Earth. Players often wouldn't even get to see or experience this happening, and they would return to rooms full of very hot carbon dioxide and pollutants, where they would be very confused as to what happened. Our solution in Stationeers to this was to do literally the opposite of what happens in the real world. We made hotter fires burn less and less, so that maxed out fires would continue to burn for a while instead of instantly using all their remaining fuel and peter out. But that's how they did it in Stationeers. Now coming back to Icarus, we wanted to make sure fighting a fire in Icarus wasn't too frustrating. The Firewhacker is a delicate balance of stamina, attack speed, stamina drain, and extinguish rate. Stamina drain, oh yeah. Too much in one direction and fire went out too quickly, too much in the other direction, and every base would burn down. Now we ensured fireworkers were a simple recipe you could make early in the game, right from your character. We added 4 spirits of cooldown before things could reignite, so you could be guaranteed to be able to save parts of your base from fire. We also switched the firewhacking swing from a slow 3-second overhead hit, much like the repair hammer, to the much quicker frantic whacking. And finally, the most significant early game fire change wasn't about the firewhacker, but instead the fire pit, which allowed players to solve many of their fire problems themselves once they experienced an accidental fire or two from the cheaper campfire. Yeah, the fire pit is not impossible, but it is harder to run into.
Correct.
I mean, you can still jump on top of the fire pit, set yourself on fire, run out, burn your base down, but it's a
But
tad
it's a type
harder.
of thing. But you can walk against it with and notice, I'm not ablaze. I'm not set instantly afire because
Yeah.
I'm walking against it rather than into it. So, or on top of it.
Also,
So
the
yes.
campfire, you could accidentally walk in the campfire.
But that's the point.
That's
That's the point.
always put it on top of a bench.
True. True.
And you cannot
Correct.
do this on a fire pit. You can't accidentally walk into a fire pit.
That's probably the reason why they're referring to it
Yeah.
as the way it is. Yes.
Now,
It doesn't
eventually,
have double
yeah,
queuings though. If it had 2 queues, I would still be happier. I had
I
to
know,
mention
I
it. I
know.
had to mention it.
True, true.
But
I was
okay.
kind of waiting
Okay.
for it, but yeah.
Yeah, I was there. It's now there.
Fire
Yeah.
pit,
Okay.
double Q. So yeah. Eventually, we felt that the fire needed to spread to nearby foliage. This was not driven by many gameplay desires or pacing metrics, other than that it felt odd and wrong when fire could not spread to nearby trees and bushes. Now, over the years, with new maps, biomes and areas, some regions became much more dense with bushes and trees than the original Olympus map. These new fuel-rich environments unbalanced the Firewhacker, and many regions became forest fire risks. Sticks, yeah. Prometheus, not so much, because there's way less foliage there. So fire doesn't spread that much, and not a whole big patches of forest. But Styx, oh definitely. Styx forest area, forest fire, you lose like a 5 square mile to one forest fire if you're not careful. And with the foliage regrow, like back in the days before foliage regrow was the thing, you could make like this fire lanes, so to say, where you could pick up all the bushes, all the foliage, so fire couldn't spread. Uh, but with the foliage regrow option in game, yeah, there's no longer a viable strategy, except when you turn off the foliage regrow. Uh, but yeah, sticks, especially, yeah, a lot of forest fires, lots of trees burning down. So, after perhaps the longest setup for some simple tweaks, here are the changes we have made that hopefully will make the firefighting more fun and less frustratingly futile. Especially if you go with a firewhacker try to contain a forest fire. We changed the firewhacker extinguish logic to allow multiple non-building pieces to be extinguished from a single successful extinguish roll. To have a better feeling firefighting experience where fire density isn't fixed. So be able to put out multiple building pieces in one go, or non-building pieces in one go. It's gonna be good. Put out multiple bushes, extinguish multiple bushes. Yeah, like
Yeah,
that.
I mean, it's not a bad idea. I mean, like I said, you just expect. Currently, the biggest problem I had with the Firewhacker, I mean, it wasn't. It was definitely. They make a valid point, obviously, in the game. It's definitely gotten more dense. It definitely was something that was up for a change. The talent to throw it was quite unique in its own right, but
Yes,
it's just.
for if you have a high building, you can't reach the roof. Just throw the firewhacker at it and extinguish the fire that way.
If you have, I haven't done it. I mean, they should definitely give you an achievement for it in Steam, but because that's a very odd point to put into a
Yeah,
talent because we prize our talent points. But It's basically, yeah, as long as it feels engaging, that's a good move. Because currently you don't get any feedback. It's deaf. The items don't get extinguished. You have to look at your heat bar to determine whether or not you're on fire.
Yeah.
It doesn't, no. So yes, let's see what they've carry on with the changes to it.
So change foliage extinguish cases so that the fire heat is entirely removed, which will stop foliage from automatically reigniting after a forced extinguish time elapses. So for fire you need three items. You need fuel, oxygen and heat. So you put out a bush. There's still oxygen in the air. The fuel is still there. The bush is still there. Now if the heat
And there's
doesn't
heat.
doesn't go away, then yeah, there you go. It ignites again. So now when you extinguish it, the heat is entirely removed. So it has to spread. The fire has to come back from a neighboring bush that is still on fire, and no longer the bush you just extinguished catching fire on its own again. Also, double the time foliage is force extinguished from 7 seconds to 14 seconds. So it's going to take twice as long before the foliage can catch fire again. I like that a lot.
Does help fight bigger fires where you need to extinguish more
Yeah,
to cull or control the burning chaos that is
yeah.
taking place in front of your eyeballs. So yes,
Yeah, less
that's
chance that if you try to contain a fire and then like behind your back the fire spreads past where you were just extinguishing it.
um, that already on its own is pretty much a massive change.
Yeah.
So
Increase the base chance increase on failed extinguishers from 0.05 to 0.15. Not sure.
that sounds like they've made it worse.
I don't know.
They've increased the base chance on failed extinguishers from zero point 0.5 or 0.05 to 0.15. So my DBA-based coding brain reads, yes, that means there's more of a chance to fail the extinguish.
No, it can't be because at some point it's a base chance increase. So at some point you will reach 1 being
Yeah,
100%. So
but the base chance of what? Failing
exactly.
extinguishers.
Exactly. It doesn't really state. It doesn't
Oh,
really explain
failing.
much here.
Okay. So that's okay. So okay, I see. Okay, so that's no, but it's still the
Yeah.
because the thing is, do you roll to fail or do you roll to succeed?
Exactly.
And if you roll to fail and they've increased the base chance, then it made it worse.
Yeah. So I
So
don't know. Yeah.
So yes, we'll see, but it does make
Yeah.
sense because there is a large buff. I mean, you can't just buff
True.
isn't, yeah. So you do need to nerf here and there, which also makes a fair point. I mean, making it a bit, you have to hit it maybe once or twice more, but then it's dead for double the duration and
Yeah.
all the other benefits that they're mentioning. Sounds fair. You have to balance it
Yeah.
somewhere.
And
So yeah,
also instead of a very slow whack, you do the frantic whack, so you hit more often.
I don't think you'll take your time when your base is burning down in front of your eyeballs to leisurely to thwack at it. No, you will
Exactly.
frantically, completely
Yeah.
lose your head and burn. Yeah, that makes sense.
Now I'm thinking. Put on the brown bear armor. 10% more melee attack speed. Would this help with a Firewhacker?
We can get you with the bonus cooked, stringy, and
And
jerky
everything,
meat
and talents and
going,
everything, and
fully going.
armor. Yeah.
Just go for it, full whack, and then I will just go around with a flamethrower, and I will have some
No,
fun, and
I mean
then
you
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 go
can do
at it.
the normal because you don't have the melee attack speed talents and everything.
No, no, no. Yeah, for a
So we
comparison,
can
but before
compare
that,
the
I'll enjoy some flamethrower
okay,
anarchy.
but I do
That's fine.
want to compare the speed of the
Yes,
Firewhacker then.
yes, we can definitely do that.
So increase the base extinguisher radius from 80 to 120. Again, how big is this? Like really in game? Like a floor tile? How big is a floor tile, right?
The cone of 80 degrees to
So
120
three
degrees.
three meters
That's.
by 3 meters. Is this from 80 to 120 centimeters?
No, I think that's the cone. So it's the extinguishing cone. So if you're looking in front of you, the extinguishing cone is at a 90 degree,
It,
80-degree angle. And if it's a
or is it a
120
radius
degree
where
angle,
you're hitting with a Firewhacker?
oh,
So there's nothing to relate this to. Like if a base piece is say 2 by 2 meters and they increase from 80 centimeters to 120 centimeters extinguish radius, then at least you have something, like if you're looking at the ground at the foliage, like you have something to relate this to. Sure, it's a 50% increase, but if it was very tiny, 50% increase is still small. If it was a rather
I don't-
big one, 50% increase, it's going to be even bigger. So,
yeah, I don't know. When I read that, I don't think it's like a radius of a circle. I think it's like the arc, the sort of the radial of your
yeah,
the effectiveness of the threating
yeah,
being
I
at
read it as a
90.
circle, especially if you like whacking the
Okay.
floor foliage.
Uh, no, I mean that's also a way to interpret it. We'll have to see which one it is, but it's going to be very difficult to do that because you can't
Yep,
really measure it.
exactly.
So it mostly makes sense to
We
then be a
can we can
cone rather than.
we can see like, hey, is it now easier to put out a forest fire with a
Well, I mean,
Firewhacker?
easier. There's a lot of factors already, but you can't
Hmm,
roll back to go compare it to
exactly.
what the angle of extinguishing
Yeah.
was. Obviously, there's different ways they could have worded it, but like I said, yeah. Next.
Sorry about that. Increased base forced extinguish time from 5 to 7.
There's a
Uh,
forced extinguish time.
yeah,
So,
there's we have like double the time foliage is forced extinguished from 7 to 14 seconds. There's again a forced extinguish time, but is this for the forced extinguish to be applied? Or the duration of the forced extinguish time?
well, it
Because
would be duration.
if it's the duration, 3 bullet points above it said double the time from 7 to 14 seconds.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. There's probably two
But
different
that's on
mechanics. One
foliage.
is, yeah, exactly. So foliage is the shrubbery below an
Yeah,
object.
this
The
might
forced
be like
extinguish time
deployables or
on an
something.
height, exactly, yeah, might be on a separate counter. But I said, considering that I said the base extinguish time, I said don't understand. Basically, so I'm assuming there's talents or abilities that sort of
Ah, that
increase
could
it.
be, yeah.
So yet again, I'm not sure if there's like sprinklers. Oh, there's a sprinkling. Like I said, I don't know how that works. So
Sprinklers
you know
don't
how that
work
works.
against fire. Sorry, they do work against fire. You're right.
Yeah, they
You
do
you
because
can use them for watering crops, but it
yeah,
isn't that hard.
we did test the fire extinguishing capabilities though, like when it came out or something. And well, there was like
Uh,
there was
yeah, we
calculations
did
being
it
done. So,
with some thatch building pieces we built on top of the drop pod, which dropped for the mission. Was the
yeah, I
drop
thought
pod
it
was
was like
dropped, we had to like grab a crop plot, grow some crops, whatever. Was and then we did also do like put some thatch building pieces around it, put the sprinkler on, and then shoot some flaming arrows. Set the
yeah,
stuff on
fully like
fire,
that. Yeah,
see how the
yeah,
sprinklers worked. A
yeah,
long time ago.
yeah.
Anyway, uh, changed extinguish count logic to ensure effects still play when extinguishing foliage.
There we go. That's a good one because that's got to do with the audio triggers that we might have been facing. Now, you've liked or defaulted to saying that it's server side the whole time and bugs on server side or client side. Like I
Um,
said, it doesn't really matter.
yeah, that's the visual bug. The audio, I do hear the whoosh when I properly extinguish something.
Yes, but before that we had thwack, 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 thwack because hitting
Yeah,
object against other object doesn't go, it goes whack, 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 whack.
yeah, I did hear that, and I also could hear the whoosh when I extinguished
I heard
something.
nothing. I heard nothing when the last time I used it.
I've been constantly hearing this, reliably hearing
Okay.
this all the time. Ensure effects still play when extinguishing foliage. Yeah, hopefully it'll improve the audio for you then.
Yeah, we'll see.
Now, due to increased firework extinguish chances, so it's not always a 100% chance, and yes, you have to hit a shrubbery multiple times before you actually extinguish it. Due to the increased extinguish chances, we decrease durability loss on successful extinguish from 500 to 200. I never noticed if you whacking unsuccessful that the fireworker didn't take any damage. Then again, I was paying more attention to the foliage being on fire than the durability of the fireworker.
Yes,
Looks
are the
like,
flames going away?
yeah, but looks like you only get a durability loss on a successful extinguish. Now, the chances of the successful extinguish are increased, so your fireworker would break even faster. It already breaks pretty quick. So they decrease the durability loss on successful extinguish from 500 to 200. So your fireworker should be holding out a bit longer, and that is good news. Because repairing fireworker costs like half your stamina.
True. Repairing anything consumes a
Yeah.
significant amount of
So
stamina.
you're whacking the bushes, trying to extinguish the fire, and then shit, my fireworker breaks. Quickly repair it. Now I have to wait 5 seconds before I can start hitting it again.
Because you have no stamina. Correct.
Exactly. So
But
the durability loss decrease is a very good thing.
indeed, but the next one gives me hope that my
Yeah,
audio-related problems have been resolved.
yeah. Improves the fireworker audio behavior so that a generic impact plays from within the whoosh to ensure the player is not misinformed about what's happening.
Yes.
So hopefully you will be hearing the whoosh better here.
Well, pretty much, it's not so much
And
the whoosh. I just want to
also,
hear that I'm hitting something,
yeah,
because last time I wasn't able to determine whether or not I was close enough to
to actually
actually
hit it.
use the
So,
item.
and there comes the extinguish radius increase into effect as well. You don't
Well, the
have to
radius is
stand.
one thing.
You don't have to stand on top of the burning bush in order to take it out to
Oh,
extinguish it.
if the circle is bigger, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm able to deploy the bigger circle from a nearer or further distance. Hence, I don't, like I said, I don't, that doesn't relate to it. But
Yeah.
definitely just having the audio that you're
Oh
actually
yeah.
doing something is definitely going to be improved.
Also, balance the fireworker audio for better recognition of impact versus extinguishing versus whooshing.
Well, it's yet again, the extinguishing and the wishing is fine, but the impact is my biggest thing
Yeah.
because I couldn't hear. It was, it's like clapping with one hand. Unless you hit somebody's face, it's not going to do anything. So yeah.
Now, if you have feedback or experience about fire or our approach to it, feel free to add a comment below or drop us a ticket in feature upvote. Icarus.featureupvote.com. And nice picture of a burning base there. Yeah,
Yeah, it
definitely
looks a bit
welcome to
toasty.
Icarus. Right, next week, Copernicus featuring Great Hunts. This is big. Next week, we are dropping our biggest update since New Frontiers. Aptly named Copernicus, this massive free update aims to enhance a lot of existing content with the addition of about 50 new items added as new rewards to existing missions across Olympus, Styx and Prometheus. New rewards to existing missions, so not even Great Hunt stuff, but general new items.
That's useful.
5 legendary weapons that can be upgraded by killing world bosses. And a 70 plus brand new achievements to unlock. Remember
Yeah, we sort
last
of
last week
glimpsed,
we
yeah,
were looking at a lot of the
yeah,
achievements? Yep.
we glimpsed a couple of them, and
Yep.
that's definitely a step in the right direction. I feel now, obviously, you can't endlessly create achievements, but
Exactly.
definitely having, I mean, certain indie games have in excess of 250, and yet again, you have people that are achievement hunters. Not that everyone has that, but definitely getting the prompt that you promptly killed a bear with your fists and
Oh yeah.
you get an achievement for it just out of the blue, or because you wanted to get it, does give you a reason to play to sort of for completionists, but as
Yeah.
well as the I just punched a baby deer to death, and then you get the oh so cruel world achievement or something.
Yeah.
So yes.
But yeah, 50, 50 new items generic. Wow, that's a lot.
Yes. Now, they don't expand on the particulars of the items, but it doesn't really matter. But, because for example,
Well,
some
I don't
people
know,
would say,
maybe
oh,
things like the sand armor we've been hearing about, for
yeah,
example.
true, but then it also defines, okay, well, the helmet is one item, the chest is one item, the
True,
legs and the breaves and the grooves and these are all one item, and then
true.
because it comes in two colors, it's actually
Uh,
20 items, and then, like I said, it's,
if there is going
these
to
are
be
fully
new
true.
building material,
Yeah, for example, oh yeah, the radio. It's one new item with a radial window to make stairs and floors and
exactly.
exactly.
There's
But
your
no,
50 new items.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. So, but no,
Yeah.
but I think I'd take it for the, yet again, it's nice to expand on it. It's definitely, and yet again, the most important thing, the word everyone loves, free.
Exactly.
So yes, I mean,
Uh, so the legendary weapons that can be upgraded by killing world bosses. Um, a little side note about this. You need to finish a mission chain to
yeah,
unlock the license for the weapon.
correct.
In this mission chain, you have to kill this particular world boss.
Indeed.
Uh, but there's only for like the license to actually craft the weapon. Uh, Other than that, you will get generic biomass. So if you have unlocked the Rock Golem weapon and the Black Wolf weapon, you can use the biomass from the Black Wolf to upgrade the Rock Golem weapon.
Correct.
I can understand why they did that, because there's going to be quite a few world bosses which are going to be quite hard to kill.
Oh.
Talk about Hemorrhage Slug, the one we
Yeah.
had the issues with, where the Black Wolf is trivial, Sandworm is trivial, Scorpion King isn't that hard either, just take some time.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I'll be farming the heck out of those to
Yeah,
accumulate biomass for all
yeah,
other
we'll see.
weapons.
Yeah, we'll see. But moving
Now,
along.
alongside the free update, we are also releasing the Great Hunts DLC, adding 3 new branching campaigns exclusive to open worlds, totaling 34 new missions, which can and will change the world you're playing on. Now, with these campaigns come 3 new world bosses, new creatures, 3 exclusive legendary weapons, 6 earnable character talent points. If you have the DLC, you can obtain up to 6 additional talent points, and about another 60 new items which you unlock exclusively through playing the campaigns. Ah, um, remember where they said something about, like, what was it, like Gargantuan throne or something?
Yeah.
So the 50 new items from the free update and the 60 new items from the DLC is gonna be that sort of thing, I think.
Yeah, it could be,
Like
definitely. I mean,
just
well,
decorative
we heard.
items.
Yeah, the
Uh,
Black Wolf cape and all these. There was like a whole
exactly.
bunch of things. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously there's a ton of things plus whether or not that they probably excluded the legendary weapons because yes, it's a legendary weapon. That's a new
Legendary
item.
weapon, and other than
Well,
that,
that
there's other stuff
yes, but
for
that's the
this
thing.
specific
It
animal. Yeah.
depends on how you measure. You could read very pessimistically into the number, but that's besides the point. There's new items in both sets. The one obviously being locked behind, quote unquote, exclusively playing through the campaigns. However, as you know, what we're probably going to end up doing is seeing how far we could push it. Because if it's on your open
Yeah.
world and I tag along,
Oh,
exactly where is the
you
line
will be
drawn?
able to. That is how
Oh,
Icarus
okay.
and the Icarus DLCs work.
We shall
I
see.
will be getting the DLC,
True,
so you
and I
can
might
just
eventually.
tag along on my DLC and still get all the stuff.
We shall see. Like I said, if I feel like it was definitely, worth it, not so much worth it, but has given me enjoyment for gameplay, then I shall gladly pay and contribute.
Yeah,
Definitely. But I presume we can check out these details.
yeah. You can check out more details on the Great Hunts and wishlist below for the release next week. Yeah, there's the Great Hunts on Steam. So in Steam
Yep,
store you can wishlist
you see
it.
the. Yeah.
Will be available July 17th,
I do wonder if that
which
image
is
has changed though.
actually the 17th is actually on Thursday.
Yeah, makes sense
But
that
yeah,
you would wishlist it before the actual release. But you'll see in the short clip there is a picture of the currencies where there still had the unique currencies per boss.
yeah,
So I wonder if that will obviously no longer be the case. So the video might still be outdated, but
yeah.
yet again, that's a small
The
detail.
that video was made when there were
Prior
still
to
the
this, yeah,
animal specific currencies.
yes, exactly. But
Yeah.
regardless,
Now your support makes these updates possible. Yeah, you can tag along with your friend who has the DLC, or you can say, you know what, I'm enjoying this enough to actually give the devs some money, so I'm gonna buy a DLC, either the Great Hunts or the Prometheus or whatever, you know. Uh, so if you wanna support the devs, do go for one of the DLCs, and if you like, hey, I enjoy the Great Hunts a lot, do consider actually buying it yourself as well, making it more popular and such.
yeah,
For sure, it's
true.
just your small piece of money, indeed.
Yeah, of course. Exactly. Because, I mean, realistically, like I said, if I enjoy the game again and it gets, I'm not asking for much. I mean, even just 10 hours worth of gameplay or 15 hours worth of gameplay is worth contributing us, money for, and especially because it was released for free, quote unquote. But it's about
Yeah,
enjoyment. If
yeah,
I can play a game for 15 hours, if I don't get any enjoyment
true,
out of it, then
true,
go, not interested. Thank you very much. I'll pass.
yeah,
However, obviously, if you're actively enjoying it, then obviously it's not 80 euros, which is what games are going to be going for soon enough, because AAA studios or inflation or whatever have you has increased the leisurely costs for
yeah.
people. But I mean, I think, do we have a price for the DLC?
Uh, no, but I think it's gonna be in the range of, I don't know, 30, 40 euros max.
Ooh, well, that's the thing, because how
Max.
much
I
did
think it's gonna be less.
well,
I'm not sure
oh,
what Prometheus DLC costed, for example. Let me have a quick
I can't
look.
recall. I know I bought it. Can't you see it on Steam's history or something? Might be able to see it there. Purchase history? Is there a
Let's see.
purchase
The New
history?
Frontiers was 29 euros. Styx was 1950. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say about 30 again, like New Frontiers, like Prometheus.
I'm gonna go see if I can figure out how to see my purchase history on Steam.
If you go to the game in Steam, and then you have underneath the play, you have the store page, DLC, community hub, etc. Click DLC.
Yeah, but that's the current price.
That's the price of the DLCs you currently have. Yes.
Yes, but that was the current price of the DLCs. The price
Now
of the DLC
there
has
is
changed.
obviously
Sales.
upcoming releases. If you scroll down,
Yes.
and there is like the top sellers, new releases, upcoming releases. Upcoming releases does show Great Hunts, so you can straight away go to Great Hunts. There is no price yet, as far as I can
No,
see.
correct. Well, like I said, that's besides the point.
Uh,
But
but I
we
think it's gonna be like $30 again, like Prometheus.
like previously. Yeah, that's a DLC. That is sort of the average sort of ballpark figure, thumbs up kind of price range. I
Yeah,
mean, obviously different studios have different prices, but we'll know on Friday what it'll probably be.
yeah,
But
you
moving
get a
on
lot indeed. Like 34 new missions with 3 new world bosses, creatures, legendary weapons, your talent points. Exactly, it was about 30 for Prometheus indeed, Josh. Or at least if you look at it right now, uh, the Prometheus is listed for what was it? Let me find it in the long list. 28.99. So say about $30. Was a while, so cannot remember. Indeed, yeah. So 29, so say $30. Anyway, change logs, new content, adding generic Firewhacker impact events to play when something is hit. That's what you want. Increase volume of DAW's audio for better feedback. Adding the unique whoosh flap audio to play in first and third person mode. Adjustment to impact volume and balance. More updates to the audio behavior for the generic impact to play from within the whoosh, etc. Firewhacker audio. When it comes to fixes, fix small beehive is not listed in field guide. I had not noticed it was missing there.
Oh, I didn't even know that they actually had different categories for them. I know you have the tree variant, and then you have the cave variant, and
No, the small beehive. I think this is
oh,
the
the made
crafted
one.
one.
Ah,
So you craft the basic one. Then you have the
I would
extensions.
I would immediately think,
And
the
like
one is the cave one, and the other one is the tree one.
no, I think there is either the base one or the small expansion. Some extra slots. But yeah,
Okay, yeah, could be,
it's in
yeah,
field guide
makes
now.
sense. True, yeah,
Fixed
good.
skinning issue for Wayfarer armor. First person versus third person mode, something was not quite right visually on the Wayfarer armor. Fixed. Actually, it was the first person skinning for the arm piece, arm skinning issue. Okay. Yeah, I don't really use Wayfarer armor that much, so I had not noticed. Future content. Let's quickly go through these. Fix the new accolades that were missing implementation rows. Yeah, here's like 70 new achievements or accolades. But they don't work yet. So glad they fixed that. Some stuff about the audio for the Firewhacker. More Firewhacker stuff. Fix new 100 packs accolade tracks in space, but not via orbital exchange. 100 packs for something which you could buy in space, but you could not buy via the orbital exchange interface. Well, I want to be able to buy everything via the OEI. Let's see, anything else interesting here?
Changes to the flamethrower's burst. Technically, I don't recall using a burst, but I'm assuming that's just a regular, just like clicking it once kind of thing. So
Or is
maybe.
this the legendary flamethrower
Now
thing?
that's the thing. I was wondering if it was a legendary one. Now it could have been the legendary because I
I
know that
think
it had
so.
a special action kind of thing,
Yeah.
but it could also have been visual effects on the regular flamethrower because even if you pull the trigger for a couple of seconds, it doesn't just fizzle out. No, you still have a stream of molting, flaming liquid that is
Oh yeah.
going to incinerate something in front of it. So it doesn't just and sort of phase off like you would do for a lighter. No, it is a flamethrower.
Yeah, it's like.
So,
Yeah.
yes, it's still going to pretty much destroy whatever you've had the fortune of, pointing it at for
Yeah.
the second that you've pulled the trigger.
Very effective against the Arctic Vespers, the flamethrowers.
Yeah, well, I haven't tried it myself, but I shall have it because I have it in my
Yeah.
kill everything setup. Yes.
Removing exotic infused golems and replacing with iron infused. Good, because exotic infused animals, they gave you this crazy annoying debuff,
Well, the
causing a
one that we've
gazillion
studied,
other debuffs.
yes, it is a chain reaction of
Yeah.
debuffs. Yes, which
Speaking from
was.
experience here.
Yeah, I mean, we studied it whilst you unfortunately decided to kiss a rock, stone jaw that had a little bit of crystal lights growing
Yeah.
out of it, but
But
lessons
it
learned.
was so pretty. I wanted to touch it.
Yeah, exactly. He just wanted to give you a big hug, and he was just, but you had the zoomies. That's all.
Yeah.
So yes.
Quarrites can now
Oh,
respawn after 4 minutes if you kill the quarrite but leave the burrow active. Maximum of 3 spawns per burrow total. So there will still be they will still run out at some point, but you will be able to kill more quarrites if you want to. Or if you forget to kill the burrow, to destroy the burrow, you will be getting more quarrites.
uh-huh.
Yeah, you want to say something?
No, 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 no. I'm disagreeing. Yes, I'm
Okay.
just skimming through the notes. Mumbling to
Yeah.
myself. Yes.
This one fix long-standing AI issue, far
Yep.
away aggressive
Well,
NPCs. We've talked about that one.
so here they talk about the Lava Hunter Flamethrower update to Flame Burst visual effects to have a low and a high quality light setups, which have high spawning several lights that move with the flames to enhance the effect. Now, it's unfortunate that they're only doing this for the Hunter's Flamethrower, because in general, I wasn't really
Um,
that impressed with the visual effects of a flamethrower. I mean,
well, this
of
is
this
like
flamethrower.
shooting
So
shooting
yeah,
lava pools or something. This is like
yeah, that's the special action. Yes, that's
yeah.
the right click one. So I know, but yet again, it's if I read the burst, it's it's the normal trigger of but just for a short duration. So basically, just confirming that the previous thing regarding the flamethrower was most likely to the
The
legendary weapon.
legendary one, the
Yeah.
lava hunter. Yeah. Set up the
Yes.
remainder of the cave worm armor. I see there's one of the 50 items, or 5 of the
Mhm.
50 items.
Yeah.
Setting up
Setting up
the
all the
reward for
missions.
a quarrite
Yeah.
mission. Okay, interesting.
Well, they said that obviously building up new missions as well for the rewards, because what was it? The Scanworm and Scorpion and Black Wolf rewards for the missions on, on Olympus and Prometheus. So definitely, the changes that they also mentioned.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Um, okay. So I'm reading this increasing cave worm spawn distance during the mission. I was doing a mission to kill Scorpion King for a mission on Olympus earlier this week, I believe. And a sandworm decided to join the party. So,
Sounds fun.
yeah, like the Scorpion rock was covering the location of the sandworm. So if I went to that side of the rock, that half, Sandworm decided to join in as well. So yeah, I'll stay on
Good.
this side here.
Yes. Seems like the SS slightly increased the rock golem's health on easy mode, so they are still balancing the enemies based across the the different difficulty levels that people play at.
Yeah.
So it was too easy previously. I don't know. I think previously we read that they made it easier, or because I mean obviously they're
Uh,
still tuning things. So,
what
but
was it
that was
like?
maybe on a more.
Increased base health, but a reduced health increase for something else or something.
No, I think it was on the hard that they reduced it. So I think they in the previous one they sort of reduced it on the harder levels, and now they're making it a little bit higher on the easy levels. So it might just have been,
Well, that's
they
for
they
the rock
figured that.
golem, but for the
Yeah.
ape boss,
No, correct. I can't recall. Yeah, that was also
uh,
the 8 boss that
they
had
removed the
changes
deep
done.
wounds curve, added scaling stats in Blueprint, lowered the deep wounds chance by half in solo play. I'm assuming the chance that the player is gonna get a deep wound. So if they
Should,
halve the
yes.
chance in solo play, they're gonna make it slightly easier for solo players, or at least less chance of
Uh,
actually getting a deep wound.
well, yeah, deep wounds are irritating because the last time we had the thingy running where we killed a bunch of wolves, each time I got bit by a wolf, I had a deep wound. So that means every time I had to sort of bandage myself up each time.
Was it the deep wound for Black Wolf or was it a hemorrhaging wound? There's a different one.
It wasn't a hemorrhage. It was just a normal. It was just a deep wound, which
No, the
was
wolves
from.
don't
Oh,
do
it's a
deep
normal
wound.
wound.
It's
Well, okay,
bear.
then it was just a regular wound. It was just a
Bear does
regular
do
wound
the
then.
deep wound. Then you need
So which
for
is a
which you need
regular wound.
the shoot your kit.
No, this was then just the regular wound. But yet
Yeah,
again, it was just basically it's I'm fighting, I got hit, oh, I have to bandage. I'm
yeah,
fighting, I got hit, I have to bandage. I'm
I know.
fighting, I have to hit, I get bandaged. It's just very irritating if each time you get hit, you have to bandage.
True.
So, yes, not very engaging.
Added small amounts of biomass and exotics rewards to some Great Hunts missions. Biomass. So not only for killing the animal, but also as a reward from some of the missions in the chains. Cool.
Indeed.
Drone
New
reduce
stats.
inaccuracy, blah blah. Uh, Added 100% poison, bleed, and wound resistance to the drone due to its mechanical nature. Yup.
I would say that's a
You
fair
can
point.
set it on
Yeah.
fire, yes, but if you shoot it with poison arrows, the drone's gonna be like, yeah, so I don't care about poison. I don't bleed. I don't get a wound.
Well, I don't know. The poison might seep into the electronics. It is a liquid, which might short
Eh,
something. So
eh.
maybe, yeah, maybe. Just take the fire extinguisher and just blast them with some friggin' water, and the drone just dies instantly. It's a perfect weapon.
Actually, now you mentioning that, um, fire extinguisher. So it's wet, and then shoot an electric arrow. I
Yeah, have
believe
you tested?
there is
Yeah, there was. Yeah,
some interaction between those two buffs.
there is. Yeah, when you're fighting that bear with, I think there was. Yeah, yeah. We've I think tested it before, but
Yeah.
and actually that being said, imagine, imagine using the ion backpack with a fire extinguisher and it actually applying
Oh.
the shocking effect.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. The fire extinguisher doesn't count as an attack.
No, it
It
doesn't because it
doesn't
doesn't
do
do any
damage.
damage. Yeah, exactly. But if it did,
Unless doesn't it do damage to the
stone jaws,
stone
it does.
jaws?
And the hunter, yes, it does.
Yeah. Indeed,
And I
iron
didn't wear my
backpack.
iron backpack. I didn't wear my iron backpack when we used it against them, so it might be
That would
something
be
to test.
fun.
Would be interesting.
Yeah.
Would be interesting to see whether or not it actually applies, because it applies to everything else.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Does it apply to a flamethrower?
It should. It's a weapon that does do damage.
Yeah,
So
but
iron
I
backpack
haven't.
should be able to proc on flamethrower.
I have an inkling suspicion that it won't, but we can test it.
Yeah. Don't test it on me though. Test it on on animals.
No, well, I'm gonna be dousing the forest whilst you're running with it at a stick, seeing how quickly you can do it.
Yeah,
So I
but
might slip
electric
and then
damage is
just
not
look in
gonna
your
apply to
direction.
foliage.
No, correct, but you might get in the way. Things happen. So
Yeah, and then you might have trouble seeing because there is a knife in your eye, but
you have to catch me first. I'm definitely still faster than you. So
true, true.
it seems like that's the future sort of bullet points
Yeah,
sort of skip through. So we're gonna get ready to and
yeah.
start up soon enough.
So these were the patch notes. We're gonna take a 15-minute break. We're gonna be back at 15 past, and we will be continuing our Great Hunts base in Styx open world. Do the last preparations we're gonna need. Hopefully, let's see how far we get uh, to before next week's update. So I hope you folks enjoyed watching us going through the patch notes. We do this every week, so you don't have to. Now, if you did enjoy watching us going through the patch notes and you want to get notified next time I stream, feel free to hit that follow button. Or if you watch this on YouTube and you want to get notified next time I upload something, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Like would be appreciated as well. Other than that, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope you had a good time, and I hope I will see you folks in 15 minutes.